It is Wednesday, November 5th here at the West End Gun Club. It's 5:36 right now. I got here early this morning because I was going to go set up on the upper range and then just be ready to shoot when the sun comes up. But they locked there's a secondary gate that goes up there and they locked it. I used to have the code for that years ago, but I seen that they changed the code. So I'm waiting for range staff to arrive just to open up that gate. It's kind of frustrating. You get out here early in the morning and you can't use that part of the range. Range staff usually gets here around 6 or so, maybe 6:30 at the latest. So hopefully we're not waiting too long because it'll be another hour if they get here at 6:30. In any case, I shot a few rounds to the 7PRC, and unfortunately, if you can see this on camera, hopefully, let's see, we got some light here. This is the group I shot this morning, 5 rounds. That was the first shot, second, third, fourth, and fifth, I think, or it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the cold bore shot was low, aiming here, and then the next 4 were kind of within about half an inch or so. I guess I would accept this as far as a cold bore shot being about half a minute low. My biggest concern right now is the fact this is my point of aim. And when I was out here last time and I shot, point of aim and point of impact were not off by very much. And so now I have like a 2.5, 3-inch, let's say 2-inch drop from my point of aim, point of impact, point of aim. This variance from session to session where it's constantly going up and down, it's a system issue. I mean, somebody might argue that me shooting in the dark might make a difference because I'm shooting with artificial light, but I can't imagine that that's the issue. Maybe it's throwing me off. But I think I've seen this happen in daylight as well. So, what are we going to do about this right now to diagnose? What I am going to do, I already did, is I ordered a new scope. So I have a new scope on the way to throw on this gun. I'll just tell you right now, it's a Night Force. Which Night Force? We'll wait for that to arrive and for the next vlog when it'll appear in. But I got a Night Force on the way, and so we'll try to eliminate the scope as a factor. If the scope is not the factor, then we know we have a gun issue. It's likely going to be stock chassis or stock fitment. Maybe it needs to be bedded properly, in which case I don't have a long action stock or another long action chassis I can test with. I might be able to borrow one from somebody just to eliminate that as a factor. And if that's the case, then we know that, hey, we're going to have to bed this rifle, like glue it in completely. And if that's the case, then okay, we've isolated the issue. If that's not the problem, then we know we have a huge problem with the barrel, which I don't know. That it's possible, but I don't think that. I think the vertical stringing, like maybe an inch vertical stringing, like if you eliminated where the point of impact is relative to the point of aim, that group, you can argue that that's carbon fiber, right? That's a byproduct of the carbon fiber. It heats up and it settles in. I'll accept that. But my biggest issue is the fact that the point of impact and point of aim variances are changing constantly, and they shouldn't be. I shouldn't be seeing this, day to day only an inch, maybe a half an inch low from point of impact versus 2 inches low point of impact session to session. I feel like I want to say it's either scope or chassis, stock fitment. That's my only guess right now. And the easiest thing is look at scope, because that's usually where you look to whenever you have this kind of variance in the stringing and whatnot. So that's all I can think of right now. So we'll wait for that scope to come in. And then if it is a scope, then we'll just have to send that thing off back to Loophole and have it fixed or replaced. Anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and chill for a bit. I mean, I got a bunch of gear. I got some steel targets back here. I went to the Connex container to grab that little quasi barricade that I have. So we'll do some practice on the upper range, assuming we get up there on steel targets. But let's go ahead and throw all the stuff in the back, because I only brought out my target, my rifle in the bag, and then we'll just chill in the truck until range staff gets here, and hopefully I can get access to the upper range because it should be open today. There's no shotgun operating in the upper range, so let's wait for them to arrive. It's 6:40. We got access to the upper range. I spent the past 20 minutes or so just setting up targets. There's fog right now, and you can barely see the 300. Earlier, you couldn't see anything out there, but it's starting to. There's a little bit of a breeze, maybe 4 to 5 miles an hour, and it's just blowing this fog through. Hopefully, it'll burn off. But we'll shoot shorter distance right now, and what we're gonna do first off is try out some of this stuff. And if you can see this on camera at all, this is the Eley Ultra or Extreme Long Range Ultra or Ultra Extreme Long Range. This is the ammo that was much maligned last year when they first came out because they were so inconsistent. And I did a I don't call it a review, but I took these out in a range vlog and they performed very poorly. But they released what they call the second gen. They're not marked in such a way that they say second gen, but when you buy it from KSS, the ammo is advertised as the revised version of the Eley Ultra Extreme Long Range ammo. This is supposed to be their top of the line ammo for longer distance rimfire shooting. And so I actually got credited. I can't remember how many boxes of this stuff I bought initially last year, but they credited me what I purchased. And so I had, for the longest time, I had store credit with KSS. And so when they announced this stuff, I said, why don't I use my store credit? So I ordered, I think I have 5 boxes at home. I brought 2. So I bought 5 boxes, have 2 here, left 3 at home, but 6, I don't remember. In any case, we have 2 boxes or just 100 rounds. We're going to shoot some groups at 50. I have a target set at 100, and we have a steel target at 200 to get some vertical dispersion measurements with this ammo. We'll see if it performs any differently. Hopefully it performs better, but we'll see how it goes. Let me set up the chronograph and we'll shoot some rounds. So one thing I did notice with the Eley Extreme Long Range, the initial run, they didn't have the velocities printed on the box. They usually do that with Eley. They'll print the velocities on the box, what it's supposed to be. This stuff does, and apparently, according to this, this one should be shooting 1063 feet per second. I've mentioned this in previous vlogs that Eley always shoots fast for me no matter what. Even regardless if it's a 25-inch barrel or the 20-inch Voodoo, Bartlein. 20-inch Bartlein on my Voodoo. This one's a 25-inch Muller Works on my Voodoo 360. But I've had stuff that were advertised in the 1050s, but they shoot 1110 in either barrel. It's crazy how hot they are. Understand why, but that's just how it works out for me. So, chronograph is set up. We have this. I actually have 2 different lots. I have one that's 1054, one that's 1063. We'll shoot the 1063 one first. Again, there's a wind right now, so we'll just have to accept that as far as this test, this quasi test. And let's go ahead and turn on a level here just to keep things consistent. And I'll turn on my camera. I brought my trigger cam still mounted. Let's go ahead and shoot around here, and we'll go ahead. And this is a clean gun. I cleaned out this barrel because I don't remember when the last time it was when I cleaned it. So when you forget when the last time it was you cleaned it, probably a good idea to clean anyway. So that's what I did. Okay. Not bad. Oh, that one twit right. That was a jam. Okay. It's kind of hard to tell on these. I shouldn't really use these shoot and see pasters because kind of ruins the group when you're looking at it. It blows up on the target. So let's shoot at this top one here. I have this on the head. Might be easier. Okay, that changed. Oh, that was interesting. I'm not eyeballing my chronograph right now, so... And I'm short around on my mag. Did have a flyer there. The SDs aren't very good, though. It's 11.8, but we'll have to chalk into the fact that we are seasoning this barrel right now, technically. This one may be off because it felt I ejected this onto the table. Yep. 1071. I did feel a wind blow, so... And it missed a round, apparently, so I only have 9 rounds on target on my chronograph. Okay, we do have a flyer. We do have a couple flyers there, but again, the wind did pick up. I felt the breeze starting to pick up, so... Let's go ahead and shoot 10 more rounds at 50, just to... get some data here. And I hear there's some activity. The range staff who let me in, he said they will be working up here. He said it's okay for me to move here. They're just going to be moving on the 500. So they'll be crossing around this area. So it's not a big deal. I mean, it's not like we shoot continuously. So we'll be fine. But let's go ahead and shoot 10 more rounds real quick. Oh, just while we're at it. 1066 average. So it's actually pretty close. 1063. Surprisingly enough. Let's go ahead and just shoot this bottom target here, or middle target. We'll shoot fast because the wind condition, it's a right to left right now. Back to front. Oh. Not a very good group, to be honest. Well, we shot that fast just to get the rounds down there. SD's shrunk down, but it's averaging 1069 right now when it's 1063 on the box. All right, let's go ahead and try the 1054 lot. We'll see if this is any different. Again, I'm trying to shoot really fast in these strings, which you kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to game the wind condition at the same time, so that's all I'm doing here when I'm shooting these fast strings. All right, this one is supposed to be 1054. And actually, let me reset my chronograph here. We'll put this in a different string. All right, let's shoot this quickly while we have a wind condition that is relatively consistent here. Ah, the wind's changing. I can feel it. It's not a very spectacular grip, to be honest. Again, these shooting steeds are probably not good for measuring because, again, it's the splatter, but yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Wow, these are 1071. SD is 5.3, but it's 1071 when it's supposed to be 1054 on the box. 1071 average to SD of 5.3. So 5.3? 5.3. All right, let's go ahead and let me take a quick break, and then we'll load up these mags and we'll shoot at a 100-yard target. And we'll see how that looks. All right, so I'm using the polymer mag for the 1054 ammo. And we'll see how this humidity is affecting everything here. All right. I don't know. It's going to be 1.7 roughly. That's how we always do. I don't know about you guys, but usually it's 1.7, 1.8. 1.7 usually when I need to get to 100. Let's go ahead and get this bag settled in here. And then let's shoot this at 100. I'm going to turn on my camera here. And I'll get rounds on here. A little low. Okay. That definitely changed. About an inch. That's weird. The first two shots were low. The next two shots were point of aim. I'll have to look at the chronograph to see what those velocities were. Man, vertical stringing like crazy. Not that impressive at 100. SD is good, 5.8. 1072 average, but if you look on camera, that's not very good. That's a 3-inch paster. So we're looking at a 2.5-inch vertical spread. Not what you want to see. Granted, it's a small sampling here, but let me go ahead and shoot. I'll shoot 10 more rounds of this stuff, and then we'll switch to the 1063 at 100 for 100 on the 100-yard target. 1063 lot on 100 yards. We'll use a small paster for this one, so I can use a big paster for the other lot. All right, that's it. That's 1054. 1054. We'll use the same string on the chronograph. All right, let's shoot below it. Let me level my gun here. Okay, why did that go into the right? That could be a wind condition. Okay, this one's starting to tighten up. Oh, that's nasty. Okay. All right, we had 2 go out of group. Average is 1073, 6.2 SD. But you look on camera, that's not very good. You got that low one there. But again, we got external factors. We're not shooting in a controlled environment right now. The wind is letting off quite a, I mean, I know it's got a whirl, this is a weird range as far as wind, so. All right, let me switch to the 1063 ammo, and we'll shoot that at 100. We'll use the billet mag for that one. And I'll be sure to reset my chrono. All right. Oh, what happened there? Whew. What is going on? You can kind of see where it's trending, but why are you throwing flyers like that? Again, could be wind condition. We are shooting at an uphill range. Wow, that was really good though. 1075 average with an SD of 2.2. 7 rounds only got picked up. Shooting too fast with the Garmin, I guess. Seven rounds picked up. We'll shoot a little slower for this next 10 rounds. All right. 1063 box. We got one target left on that 100-yard board. Oh, why? I am watching some wind indicators on my peripheral. there's some slight changes, but oh, that's that could be wind. I don't know. Yeah, nothing to write home about. Average is 1076.9, SD of 4.4. I did have to go move that target. I put it at the 150 roughly impact area, so push it out to 200. I think it's 200. What I get this thing at? Sorry, it is 198.9. 198.9, and we'll go ahead and put a couple rounds on there. No idea what it's going to be. We'll try 6.9 because that's kind of what my Kesha would say for Midas Plus. But we'll see if 6.9 is close enough for this. It might be. Yeah, it could be. You never know. I do need a little bit more bipod height if I can get it. Here we go. Here we go. And my level turned off because, of course. And we'll see if this goes. Target's not exactly level to the ground. It's just sitting in a weird manner, but I really can't tell where that's at right now. I did spray paint this target, but I didn't do it completely well. So it's kind of hard to tell where those new impacts are, but I think I see that last shot. We do kind of have a relative water line there. We're not going to concern ourselves too much with the windage, but we can see where it's impacting relative to the vertical. And it looks like we're hitting about, it's a 4/10 variance right now, based on what I'm seeing here. We'll have to go take a look at this up close because there's some spots on there that are definitely from old shots. To the right. Went high. What is that, 4/10? Yeah, so from what I can tell on the shots, it's about a 4/10 at 200 yards. 4/10 variance on the, and SDs is 10.6, so the SDs did get worse on this with this group 1054. They're back. The range staff is behind me. They're on the 500-yard impact area, so they do technically have to go around the firing line to get to the 500. But let me see if I can load up 10 more rounds quickly before they have to exit. I think they're still doing some work back there. So let me get this 10 rounds loaded up and then put on the 200. Then we'll shift over to Centerfire, and then we'll analyze this target later when I go pull in that 200-yard steel. But I do have a 300-yard target, a steel target set up there for Centerfire. Let's go ahead and load this. This is the billet mag. All right. Let us get 10 more rounds on target with this ammo. That's 0.2 higher than the previous shot. I mean, it seems like it's gripping okay at 200. As far as the vertical, a lot more controlled versus the... It's not bad. I mean, I would take this at 200, to be honest. Don't know where that one went. I can't tell. I didn't see it. That one's in the center. I mean, that's not bad. Not bad. The wind did die down, though. It's less of an issue right now. Oh, that one went high. That one went 0.3 taller than the previous shots. I don't know where that one went, but definitely hit left if it caused it to turn like that. That one's right. Okay. Well, 1075 average, 8.5 SD. But we're not going to shoot on that target anymore. We'll just remember for the video, that was the 1054 ammo. 20 rounds, only picked up 18 on the chrono, but 1075 average, 8.5 SD. And we'll analyze that steel target when we pull it in. But let's bust out the Centerfire. Brought the 308 out. You may be wondering why I had an MRE. It's because I wanted to do something. I do have some MREs that I keep on hand, and you can get cases for pretty cheap. And I think right now, like less than $4 average per meal if you buy them by the case. I mean, it's not bad for what you get out like a 1,200, 1,500 calorie kind of package. And if you just eat the main meal, it's only like 300 calories. The only bad thing is the sodium, but not bad for just something that you need to get a calorie boost. So that's why I'm waiting for that thing to heat up. And we'll go ahead and shoot the 308. I loaded a profile into my Applied Ballistics app, which I did tie to my Kestrel, or not my Kestrel, my Vector X's. And it says I need 1.37 right now for 300 and what I don't 309 yards, I think 303. I can't remember. I'll redistance it, but I need 1.37, which I'm going to dial. I'm going to dial 1.3, and we'll hope for the best there. And let me get a quick parallax, and then we'll shoot. We'll shoot with the AW mag from Gray Ops. A lot of people are asking me try out the AW mag and the Gray Op from Gray Ops in a different gun, because I was using it in my NRL Hunter build and it wasn't feeding exactly that great. So we'll try it out in this Aero Precision Solus. And I will say that I do have the Gray Ops AW mag for GT, and I ran that fine with this Aero Precision Solus with a 22 GT barrel. So I can only imagine the AW mag will work fine in 308 on this action. So let's see how it goes. Definitely pull that to the left. barricade is definitely wobbly. And my camera turned off. Shoot one more round. Battery died, so let's put a new battery in the camera. Let's go ahead and get some rounds in. So the lockup on this is definitely very tight. So magazine is fitting pretty well. All right, go ahead and shoot a few rounds here. This barricade is definitely wobbly on this ground, but we will make do because it is practice. And I shot my target off, of course. So I guess we're gonna take a break and go put that target back on. I went out there, fixed my target, but I repurposed my target stand for the 200, moved out to 300, put a 10 by 10 on there, and took off my rimfire target. 10 by 10, I think it's a 1/2 inch. It's really big for 300 yards, but it's heavy, so hopefully it won't get knocked off. It won't swing too much and get knocked off that hanger. But let's go ahead and we'll shoot large, small, and then switch in large, small, just to get some 4 rounds in, and then I'm gonna go eat my MRE. Just an FYI, meatballs in marinara sauce made with chicken and beef, 270 calories, which isn't bad for this packet. But that being said, the bad thing about this, 15 grams of protein, you get 840 milligrams of sodium, which is about 37% of your intake. Not good. That's the only bad thing about MREs is the sodium because of all the preservatives. Just going to try to do this mock stage. We're going to shoot off rear tripod and then off of this barricade that I have here. We're going to do large, small, large, small, large, small, large, small. So we'll do 4 positions, but 2 shots each position. It's kind of like I'll say an NR Hunter style, but twice the targets or twice the engagements in the stage. Let's try this out. Definitely need practice with this converted SkyPod because it does require some because I'm not very tall, so I have short arms, so I have to manipulate this in a specific way. All right, if I need to get rid of tripod, this is how we'll go. And we'll adjust it, and then we got a little mag because we would keep the mag out while we're doing this. All right, once we get on target, we're good. Square up body more, knees in. All right, gun is a little canted. Easy. 10x10, not that hard to hit. This one's an 8x8, I think. Switch over to the opposite side. Same concept, large, small. Get target, square off body. Kick tripod out. Engage. Gun is tented. Easy. And we'll go off to this. Then we'll likely ditch tripod for this. And then we'll go for if you want, we can go over a tripod. Same concept. Probably should have timed myself on this, but whatever. Oh, I hit the berm. I dropped it. I saw that. I felt the stock slip. Didn't miss a shot there. Oh well. Gotta be better on that rear tripod. Support it better. Alright. Gotta grip it. Here we go. Better grip here. Alright. Easy. Easy. Alright, just missed one on that iteration. It's all good. Let's go ahead and talk about these targets. I'll have to bring up the steel target. This is not in frame. But anyway, this is the 50-yard target. This is the Eley. We'll just look at these three. Eley Extreme Long Range. This is the 1054 velocity rated, and this one's the 1063. Up close is doesn't look that bad, but it's not great. I mean, it's not what you want from a top tier ammo, right? And you want your gun to shoot better than this. This one's not bad. You got this one on the right. This one opened up. This is about a minute of angle. That one's a minute of angle. I mean, it's okay for 50. I mean, you can win an NRL22 match with that. But let's talk about the 100. So I believe I shot 1054 here. And so look at this string. That is pretty bad. I don't know what happened there, but that vertical is about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. This is also 1054, which it tightened up. Don't know what happened here. Maybe just settled in. Did have these two flyers to the right. Could be wind. Don't know. This could also be wind. The wind is kind of weird. Let me just pan quickly without focusing my camera, but you can see that the wind, the way it comes up, it shears. It's coming maybe back to front with some tailing, and the way it shears off of this whole impact area. It's funny. So anyway, so it tightened up. This is 1 inch maybe, so it's minute of angle if you don't count these two. This is the 1063. Sorry, that was 1063. This is 1063. Now I'm trying to remember what I shot. No, I shot 1063 first and 1054. So this is 1054, 1063, 1054. I shot 1063 first, then 1054. So the first two here, 1063, then 1054, 1054, 1054, then 1063. So I shot this one first and this one. And if you saw, this looks pretty good, but you have these three out here. These, I don't know. I look really good, to be honest. I would have taken, if you had like this, that would have been awesome at 100 yards. But you have these three, you want to call them flyers, but, and I shot the same ammo, should be 1050, 1063 here as well. So I have to look in video. I'm not sure if I'm getting this right, what order I shot them, but I know for a fact these two are the same as these two, and this is the same as these two. But you can see this opened up compared to that. That's a little bit more than an inch at 100 yards. You want it to be better, but I mean, it's okay. Then again, maybe it's my gun, but this is not as bad as the original version, which I probably should have shot today just for control, but I didn't. So let's go ahead and just adjust the camera down so you can see the steel target, and hopefully, I mean, if I can refocus this while it's recording and just brightness there. So this is actually not bad at 200 yards. So these are not shot. So if you ignore those, these are for old shots. And anything below anything red line below is actually not shot today. So these are the outliers here, these three, but everything clustered here. Don't have my tape measure with me, but I want to say this is roughly 3-inch vertical. The windage, I don't know, 4-inch vertical. But this is not bad. From this is the anomaly from the top end, and this is where, I think this is a shot here. This is one of today's shots. So that's not bad, to be honest. For 200 yards with a funky wind, I think this is pretty good. Pretty decent, rather. You want it to be a little bit better, but I think that's not bad. I should have pushed the target out to 300, but I don't feel like doing that today. I probably could. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of lazy because we're already almost packed up. So I pretty much tore down most of my gear, or at least most of my guns. So that being said, Eley, not bad. I think it's improved upon. Maybe as far as these groups on paper, though, I could probably get better if I just get a better lot. But that being said, maybe my gun just doesn't like this Eley lot. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think, but I think this is an improvement over what the first, quote unquote, first gen extreme long range was, because that stuff was just horrendous. Oh, and one last thing, I did fire 5 more rounds with the PRC because I brought 10 rounds with me. We shot 5 rounds in pure sunlight, no issues here with as far as lighting. I shot this nice 1/2-inch group right here. That's 5 rounds, believe it or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 2 right in there. So this gun shoots, I mean, it's shooting there. The question is, why am I getting this? So is it my scope or is it gun zero shift? Does it need to be bedded? I don't know. Let's wait for that new scope to come in, and then we'll figure out why I keep having this significant zero shift. And why I have a shift while I'm shooting, like 2 vlogs ago, that felt like it was a scope issue. I don't know. But let's get a new scope. Let's diagnose. Trying to roll out of here. Got all my gear pulled off the benches, about to seal up the truck. But before I go, I wanted to talk about this tripod. I was using my TVC 22i compact, kind of from my mock drills this morning. But if you notice, and I did post this on Instagram, this is outfitted with an Anvil 30. So I got another Anvil 30. For NRL Hunter, I was running this tripod with a BH55 ball head, but I wanted to go with an Anvil 30 and try that out to shoot off of, because Anvil 30 is better for shooting off of. The BH55 is better for glassing. But what I was thinking about doing is basically run Anvil 30 on this for when I need to shoot off of the tripod. Run the PT Scout on top of this for glassing. So in NRL Hunter, what I anticipate doing is I'll have this tripod actually clipped to my body, which I'll probably go over in a future video. And then once I get down to my position, I'm just going to have everything like this clipped to my body and then come off the backpack. Just throw this off, get the legs out, and go. And you'll notice it is short. This is the TVC 22i compact fully extended. I'm a pretty short guy. I'm only 5'4". And so even for me, it's kind of short. So to glass off of, I'm technically going to have to kind of widen my legs on this. And then if I wanted to glass, I would have to kind of bend down, which is fine. I could go with the longer, taller TVC 22i non-compact, but I just don't want to have to lug around that longer tripod. It might be better for more comfortability standing and glassing, but I think I can glass just like this. We'll see how it works. But then once I get my targets in an hunter after I glass or whatever, let's say I get down, I glass. If I glass standing or I glass kneeling, doesn't matter. And then what I'll do once I'm done getting my target array, I'm just going to take the whole PT Scout off with the bino attached, toss it aside or whatever, and then shoot off of this as I need to. Otherwise, I'll just leave it on the tripod. Hopefully the wind doesn't blow it over, or just tilt it down on the ground and then go shoot. But anyway, we'll see how this setup works for me. Again, I'm going to clip in. I have the OBI interface on there so that I can just clip this onto I can clip it to my backpack. I think I showed that before, and I'll just clip it there and I'll walk around. And then when I get to my position, I'll just take it off, get down, put the legs out if I need to. Otherwise, I'll just glass kneeling and then go from there. As far as that's concerned, that's it for this tripod, but it's already 10:30, been out for a long time. Didn't fire that many rounds, to be honest, but, just took a while just to get all my stuff set up, alternate between guns, set up mock stages, etc., or mock barricades, and then get my rounds down range and clean up. But anyway, next week, Veterans Day, I might shoot. I might come out with my dad, might do some shooting with my dad. I won't range vlog that, bring out some pistols and whatnot. And but aside from that, I don't know if I'll shoot a match this month other than the NRL 22 match that I host. There's a couple matches that are 2 weekends from now that one of them I might shoot. We'll see. Otherwise, the next time I'll be out for sure with a range vlog will be our NRL 22 match on November 23rd, Sunday. So if you're in the area before Thanksgiving, definitely come on out. We'd love to have you here at the West End Gun Club at the NRL 22 match. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and clear out of here. Maybe get a coffee before I go home. But that's it for today. Wednesday, November 5th, here at the West End Gun Club on the Upper Range. That's it for today in this range vlog. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.